Most parenting advice is telling you what to do, and there's like a million things you're supposed to do as a parent. But why don't we keep it simple and focus on some things you should not do? That's what we're going to talk about in today's episode, some parenting don'ts. It's funny, like parents are like super concerned about how much screen time their kids have, right? And so you all want your kids to do stuff in the real world. So like one of the strategies we came up with is like, hey, you love watching YouTube videos. We're going to choose to watch videos about places. Then you're going to get excited to go to those places. Then we're going to go to those places. So instead of banning them from the thing, which makes them want to do it more, you think, how do I take this thing you have interest in and use it as a bridge to go to this other place that I want you to go?
Watching parents today who are of the era where parents demonized alcohol, which then only led to kids loving to drink alcohol. And then kids going through college experiences where they saw someone who never drank alcohol because it was demonized completely get wasted on their first week of college. Watching that generation of parents not realizing that with social media and screen times, they're doing the same thing. Like, that's brilliant, good for you. And the other thing I would say to parents is like, you're the parent. Yeah. Like, if you think TikTok is a good one because I talk about it in marketing a lot of times, the most extreme parents are like, China or bad or whatever. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I'm talking about TikTok about business. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't like TikTok for your kid? You're their parent. Delete it off their phone.
There is nothing more lovely and more wonderful than a child. Their laugh, their joy, the cute things they say. But like every sweet thing, it can easily turn sour. You're not doing your kids any favors by giving them everything that they want. You're not helping them by removing every difficulty and preventing all adversity. You're not making their lives easier by fighting all their battles. You're not rewarding them by overindulging them. No, you're spoiling them. And you're not doing much of a service to the world in the process either. Instead, you are setting your kids up for a very tough and unpleasant time in this life. You are, in fact, making them weak, very unpleasant. Don't spoil them. All things in moderation, even as you love them as much as humanly possible. It's a difficult balance, to be sure, but the stakes are too high not to get it right. We are not very good with time. Seneca says, it's not that we don't have enough of it, it's that we waste a whole lot of it. But one of the wonderful things I found about having kids is that it puts this in perspective. Because I'm not wasting my time. When I'm overcommitting, I'm not taking time for myself. I'm stealing time from my children. I'm stealing time that I promised someone else. And so we have to think about time as our most precious resource. Seneca says, death is not in the future. Death is happening right now. We're dying every minute when we waste it on social media, when we waste it in pointless meetings, when we waste it going to things that we don't need to go to, even though we have a million other things to do. We waste our time, but we're not just taking that time from ourselves. We're taking it from our children. We're taking it from the important work that only we can do. We're taking it from our spouse. And of course, we are also taking it from ourselves. Stop wasting time. It's your most precious resource. And you have to protect it, not just for yourself, but for the people you care about and the people that you don't know how much time you will get with in this life. If you caught someone talking to your kids on a nanny cam, the way that you sometimes get when you're frustrated, or if you watch someone that was supposed to be watching your kid drift over to your phone and not pay attention, you'd fire them in a second, or you'd reprimand them in a second, or you'd think about changing schools or whatever it is. And yet we do that because we can get away with it and no one can hold us accountable. Wow. And so stepping back and looking at yourself from a distance, I think whenever I see someone like at the airport get mad at their kids, right? And you go, that's not a good look. I don't judge them. I think that's what I look like when I get upset with my kids, right? And so I think as parents, as society, we're too judgmental. What we should do when we see someone having a hard time or doing something we don't like, go, where do I act like that in my life? And that's something I can control and change, and that's what I'm going to focus on.
That hit a nerve for me because I always maintain my composure with him. I am the person who grabs the phone because I'm always tethered to work.
Sure.
And to your point, if someone was caring for my child and I saw them on their phone, I'd say, hey, so that hit a nerve with me. And that's what these meditations do. It really takes you into your life and not judging other people.
Stop trying to change them. We should always try to learn from parents who have had it harder than us, who have really been through the ringer. Brandon Boulware is the son of a minister. He's a lawyer, an avowed Christian man, a husband, and a father of 4 children. In 2021, he gave a deeply moving testimony to the Missouri House of Representatives about his struggles with his transgender daughter. He told the lawmakers that he had long tried out of fear and love and a desire to protect, to keep his child from wearing girls' clothes and playing on girls' teams. And then one day she asked him if she could go play with the neighbors. "It's time for dinner," he said. "But if I go out in boys' clothes, can I play with them?" came the reply. And that's when it hit him. He'd accidentally taught his daughter that not being who she was a way to be rewarded. What Boulware so beautifully communicates in his brief testimony is a lesson for all parents. Let them have their childhood, he pleads. Let them be who they are. Maybe you're artistic and your kid is not. Maybe you're athletic and your kid is not. Maybe you're not religious and your teenager is. Maybe you're liberal and your kid is not. Whatever it is, let them be who they are. Let them experiment. Let them discover themselves. Let them discover their truths. Let them have their childhoods. You might not like the results of that exploration. They might challenge your most deeply held assumptions. But guess what? That's a you problem. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of these, or if there are any parenting don'ts that you would add to this discussion. And by the way, if you want to get better at your most important job, I send out one piece of parenting advice every single day. That's the Daily Dad newsletter. It's followed by hundreds of thousands of parents all over the world. It's totally free, no spam. You can sign up right now for free at dailydad.com.